A good look at the ferry working its way back towards Seattle as we welcome you to the great city here in the state of Washington. And what time is it? It's time for Mariner Baseball. Glad to have you with us, everybody, here on Root Sports. True to the blue, indeed. Dave Sims, Mike Lauer's Root Sports crew. Jay Buhner joins us a little bit later, as will new GM Jerry DiPoto. Let's take a look at the Houston Astros starting lineup for tonight's ballgame.
For manager A.J. Hinch leading things off. Jose Altuve, want to keep him off the bases, lead the club in stolen bases. Then it's Springer, a home run last night. Carlos Correa, 21 home runs, leads all American League rookies. Gaddis, also a home run last night, hitting cleanup the DH. Lauer, Chris Carter, a home run, 3 solo homers by the Astros last night. For Carter, his 23rd. Gonzalez, Conger, and Marisnik round out the 9 for the Astros. For Nuno on the year, a 1-4 record, a 4.10 ERA, 53 strikeouts, just 16 walks. Opponents hitting .278. He has given up 12 home runs. And a look at the defense playing behind Nuno. Smith in left field. James Jones getting the start in center. Mark Trumbo out in right. Kyle Seager at third. Marte and Cano playing up the middle. Logan Morrison is at first base, and John Hicks will do the catching tonight. For Nuno, you can see his last start Friday against the Angels. He went 4 1/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs. He threw 67 pitches. So going on 3 days rest, we'll see how far he can get in this one tonight.
His first batter is going to be Jose Altuve, third leading hitter in the American League. And Mike, he's hitting .427, swinging at the first pitch.
And we've talked about it for the last couple of years, how aggressive he is.
Off the mask of Hicks, strike one.
And Nuno starting him off with a fastball, 91 miles an hour.
John Hicks fully awake now after taking that shot. 64 degrees, wind out of the southwest at 2 miles per hour. Here's Nuno's next pitch. Outside. Wayne McClendon saying, hey, Nuno's got a rubber arm. He didn't go long in the last time out. If he can give me 5, 6, even 7 innings, I'll take it, because it's going to be the bullpen effort tomorrow. Foul ball. How about that? .427 swinging at the first pitch. Paul Emmel, home plate umpire, talking with Floyd McClendon. Here's 1-2 pitch. Rifled into center field. James Jones will get it back in. And Altuve, who has been on a tear since the All-Star break, gets the Astros going. Good to have you with us, Dave Sims. Mike Flowers. We're going to talk to Jerry DiPoto, the new GM, coming up in the second inning. Jay Buhner's going to join us a little bit later. Mariners trying to end this losing streak, man. They got to get it done here.
Well, and they're kind of behind a little bit. Nuno, we talked about it, 3 days rest, so some guys in the bullpen are going to get some work. It's going to be an entire bullpen going tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they have to pitch well and give their offense a chance to get on track.
And Houston, as you know, very much in the playoff chase here as George Springer takes a big rip. The Astros currently holding the second wild card position by half game over the Angels. Angels play right now just starting up at home against Oakland. Other games with playoff implications, 3 have been rained out: Minnesota, Cleveland, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Toronto, and Baltimore.
And in the West, Houston just a game and a half behind Texas. Texas playing down in Arlington. You know, the Tigers in town. Bit of a wild one. They're in the 5th inning, and it's 7-6 Rangers.
Runner goes. Pitch swung on. Base hit. Left field. Altuve to third, and he's in safely. Throw over to first. Back safely, Springer. Early uprising here for the Astros. Get you up to speed on what's happening in the standings. Delta Airlines keep climbing standings in the American League West. Rangers by a game and a half over the Astros. Angels hanging in. And then you look at the wild card. Yankees just got blown out 10-4 at home by Boston. And the Astros by a half game over the Angels. The Twins, they won't go away. And the Indians are still mathematically alive. Nuno in some trouble here. Carlos Correa, strike one. Correa in last night's ball game 1 for 4. Got an infield hit. So Paul Emmel, home plate umpire. Andy Fletcher at first. Jerry Mills at second. Jordan Baker at third. Astros on a 3-game win streak. They have a 10-15 record here in the month of September.
And the Mariners will play their infield back. Nobody out. Runners on first and third. So Lloyd McClendon trying to get the double play. He'll give up a run for a double play ball right here.
One pitch. On 2 strikes. The Astros offensive profile next to last in batting, 6th in runs, 2nd in homers, 2nd in slugging, 1st in ERA, and 1st in stolen bases. It's Lance McCullers. Got the win last night to go 6-7.
He had really good stuff last night. His fastball topping out at 98.
He had good ride on it, didn't he?
Yeah, and he had the great breaking ball too. The slider really caused problems. For Nuno, his fastball on average is going to be 89 miles an hour. He'll hit 91 at times. Best off-speed pitch is his slider. Also mixing a changeup and occasional curveball for Nuno.
Ball 2. First inning difficulties here for Vidal Nuno. 2-2 pitch to Correa. Chopper up the middle. Marte will take it to the bag. Will not get the speedy Correa. Run scores. That's Altuve. And the Astros have got a 1-0 lead. British Trace RBI.
Chopper right over the mound, and with Correa's speed, tough to double him up. Marte takes it himself. Beats it easily.
Brings up Evan Gattis. Looks at his strike. Gattis' first inning home run last night. It was a blast. Deep in the left field.
He leads the club in home runs. Hit his 27th last night. It's on a changeup.
On 2 to Gattis. He homered and Springer homered in the first inning last night. Then in the 7th, Carter got on the train there and hit another home run against the Mariners. Here's the 0-2. Nuno lost at Houston to the Astros back on August 31st. 7th career game against Astros. Much of a lead by Correa at first. He's 12 out of 16 in base stealing. Two. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Terrific pickup getting Gattis from the Atlanta ball club. 2-2. Full count. And Lowry's on deck.
A little bit surprised that Nuno isn't throwing his slider more. He's basically doing fastball changeup. On the year, he's thrown his slider more than he's even thrown his fastball.
Hanging up in the air. Romo. That is a wonderful play. I thought he might try to catch that basket catch, but to catch it like on a forearm kind of move, that's a heck of a play.
Well, we'll take a look at it as he goes back. See, almost backhanded play. A good play by Logan. We've seen him do that all year. He does such a good job on foul ball, especially down the line. Trumbo playing deep with Gaddis hitting.
For a guy 6'4", about 220, he can run. And
good athlete.
He picks it up quickly, picks up the ball in flight, and knows where it's going to be. Really good work. 2 outs, and here's Lowry. 3 for 7 with a homer against Nuno. He went 1 for 4 last night, base hit, 4th inning. He's been a problem for the Mariners pitching staff.
There's a good breaking ball. Seems that Mariners starters lately have had a tough time getting into the game. We saw Elias last night throwing 26 pitches in the first. Nuno now at 21. Typically settled down after that, but the first inning has been a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, they're at home too, on their home mound. It's not like, and it's not like there's a big crowd on their case or anything. It's just one of those things. And peculiarities you have in baseball. 2-2. James Jones going back. And Jonesy makes the catch. His 6th start in center field this season. It's a 1-0 Houston lead with the Mariners coming to bat. By Alaska Airlines, 80 non-stop destinations and growing. By Safeco Insurance, find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. By the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Visit emeraldqueen.com. And by your local Ford stores. Nice night here in Seattle. Right now we take a look at the Mariner batting order that will face Mike Fiers.
Leading things off, it'll be Ketel Marte, his 2nd home run of the year in last night's ball game. Then it's Seager, Cruz, the DH, batting 3rd. The cleanup hitter, Robinson Cano, 11-game hitting streak for him. Then it's Smith, Trumbo, Logan Morrison batting 7th. James Jones getting a start. He will hit 8th. And John Hicks doing the catching, round out the 9th for the Mariners. For Fiers on the year, a 2-1 record, a 3.18 ERA, 52 strikeouts to 20 walks. Opponents hitting just 192 against him. He's given up 9 home runs.
Fiers back on the 21st of August, a no-hitter against the Dodgers. 134 pitches, 10 strikeouts, walked 3. Marte's been on a mini home run tear, first 2 of his career. Got one his first swinging lefty last night, got his first as a right-hand hitter down in Anaheim.
And for Fiers, you probably noticed right over the top delivery with his pitches. Fastball on average 89 miles an hour, so he doesn't throw real hard, but he'll throw everything up there as a splitter, slider, cutter, curveball, changeup. More times than not, when he gets 2 strikes, though, he will use his slider, especially this month. That really thrown a lot more sliders lately. It's been a good pitch for him.
Not quite as tall, but watching him throw reminds me of Doug Fister. That's a ball up the middle. Altuve backhand. Won't get him. Base hit.
Take a look at the defense for the Astros. Athletic. Marwin Gonzalez getting the start in left field. Marisnick covers a lot of ground in center. George Springer in right. Jed Lowry, the veteran, at third base. Correa and Altuve playing up the middle. Chris Carter, the first baseman. And Hank Conger will do the catching tonight. 4 Fiers in his last outing against the Angels on Wednesday. 6 2/3, just 4 hits. 3 earned runs, had 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. He threw 107 pitches.
Kyle Seager with a man at first. 270, 25 homers, 71 runs batted in.
And the Astros have the shift on with Kyle hitting.
What do you think? Fiers coming over the top remind you of Fister? It does to me.
Yeah, I think so. Even their build a little bit. Doug maybe a little slimmer.
Taller. Yeah, man, a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Strike one to Kyle. 0 for 3 in last night's ball game. Fiers coming over from Milwaukee on July 30 with Carlos Gomez.
I'll take a look at Fiers. And almost 70% with his fastball. The breaking ball at 16%. His changeup at 15%.
He's going easy bake off it on us too, huh? I like what you said yesterday, but it's a. You think that maybe they'll change that? I mean, that's too much of an advantage if that thing has. It's like an extendo, right?
Oh yeah, it makes your hand a little bit longer, and we've already seen a play at the plate where the edge of that was able to get in there.
Base hit, right field. Marte, no problem getting to third. Seager digging for second, and he's in there safely. Mariners battling right back, second and third, nobody out. 37th double for Kyle Seager.
Now gets a pitch up, out over the plate. As you take a look at our Alaska Airlines Supermo and the swing by Kyle.
Springer gets it back in. Now you've got Nelson Cruz ready to hit. Seager out of the box hard. Play in front of him. Good read. There's Nelly. And he fouls one into the glove of Hank Conger. Tough night for Cruz last night. Struck out 4 times swinging. So for his last 10.
That's the reason why he's my pick to click tonight.
I hear you.
He typically bounces back in pretty good shape. For Seager, 37 doubles on the year.
1-1 to Cruz. Mariners seeing Fiers for the first time. American League home run leaders and leaders in the major leagues. Davis and Cruz. Saw a chart today that said Cruz's average distance on home runs at about 414, the best in the major leagues. Fiers, 30 years old, born in Hollywood, Florida. Went to Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale. 22nd round pick of the Brewers in 09. 2-1. Count for Mr. Cruz with Cano on deck. Angels out to an early lead, 2-0 at home against Oakland. Top the second. Pujols. Albert Pujols with an RBI single scoring Mike Trout. Here we go, 3-1 to Cruz. Couple of men aboard. Line drive left field. Caught out there by Gonzalez. Here's a throw to the plate. Marte scores standing up. Ball gets away from Conger. Seager advances to third. So sacrifice fly. Nelson Cruz. It's his first of the season. He picks up an RBI, his 91st.
They had a break for the Mariners on the throwing error because Seager was staying at second base, but once he was able to get away from Conger, he's able to move up, and with just one out, you have an opportunity to pick up another run on a fly ball. You see Marwin Gonzalez. We've seen him for the most part on the infield when the Mariners have played the Astros, but been in the outfield the last 2 days. So a good break for the Mariners.
Sac fly, E7, runner at third, 1 out. And the hottest hitter the Mariners have, Robinson Cano, an 11-game hitting streak. There's your fly ball. Seager tags. And he'll score. The Mariners have a 2-1 lead. Nice job. Robbie Cano with his 4th sacrifice fly.
74 RBIs for Cano now. More importantly, the Mariners take the lead.
Good work there. Brings up Seth Smith. Cano, by the way, last night 2 for 4. Smitty 0 for 3 last night with a couple strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Strike 1. Got to be a lot of talking in the dugout because everybody's seeing this guy for the first time.
Always. I think anytime, and they'll talk to Marte, Kyle Seager, a really good source for the guys to go to on what he has and what he's trying to do. They obviously have a scouting report and they've watched film on him. I'm sure Edgar has talked to the guys about it.
There's Mariners hitting coach Logan Morrison. Logan batting at 7-hole tonight. Fires in 5 years of big league pitching, has a 23-29 record. A career 3.59 ERA. Best year 2012 with Milwaukee, won 9 games. 9-10. Three and 2. Mark Trumbo on deck. Shift on for Smitty. 3 and 2. 2 outs. Struck him out. First K of the night for Mike Fiers, but the Mariners get 2 runs on 2 hits, an error. Nobody left. Bark in the park. All the pooches in the house tonight. Absolute Sports is brought to you by AM/PM. Too much good stuff. And by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. Mariners have a 2-1 lead over the Astros as we begin inning number 2. Middle game of a 3-game set. Astros, as you know, very much in the playoff chase. And joining us right now, here in the booth, is the new general manager, the Seattle Mariners, Jerry Dipoto. Welcome, Jerry. Good to see you, man.
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure.
Good to have you with us. This day has been a whirlwind for you. Just tell me what that part of it has been like so far.
It's been tremendous. I mean, just meeting new people, it's been a pure joy for me. So right about now, here we go. James Jones.
Carter's been doing a lot of damage against us for years.
Oh, I've been on the receiving end as well.
Yes, okay. All right, so what's your biggest challenge to get this club going, as we like to say, in the right direction?
Mostly for me right now, it's getting a chance to know the people who I'm going to work with every day, from Lloyd and the staff to the players on the field to the front office and baseball operations group, and figure out where we need to make change. Because change is inevitable. It happens, and we'll do some of that on the field of play. We'll do some of it in the front office operation, and we'll make some tweaks. I do believe that this is an opportunity here with a core team that has a chance to go win championships, and we're going to build around this group sooner rather than later.
Jerry, what are some of the things that you like about Seattle?
Love the city, love the ballpark. This is, to me, a timeless ballpark that gives you every chance to win.
Does the city go all the way back to your playing days?
It does.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, another ballpark.
Yeah, the Kingdom.
As you remember well.
Yeah.
But, came here in the early 90s with the Indians at the old Kingdom, and then later through the initial years of interleague play when we just played in the West,
right,
and spent some more time at the Kingdom. It's a little easier to pitch right here.
It's played by Seager, 2 down.
As you can see, you're already in pretty good shape at third.
No, I was actually saying to Tom Allison downstairs while we were talking, Kyle Seager, watched him play since he was at North Carolina. Great teams he played on there, but loved the player, loved the style, loved the heart, and he's turned into an absolute stud.
If you had to, and I know you've been watching the club, but if you had to look at something right now just going into the winter, what would be the most important thing that you think you need to address with this club?
I'd say it's probably twofold. One would be depth overall, but most specifically depth on the pitching staff. There needs to be more layers behind, Felix and Walker and Iwakuma. Nuno's done a nice job, and we have to create more depth in the bullpen, layers in the bullpen. We also have to get a little bit more athletic. We have to be able to cover more ground, and the two combined will help us prevent runs, which I think is very important.
Got to ask you this. What about the manager, Lloyd McClendon? What's the status there?
Lloyd, I got to meet with him yesterday. We had a couple hours together. I've spent a lot of years around Lloyd, never got to know him very well. And the way I've put it is I came in, I'm a very positive person. I told Lloyd this yesterday. I'm honest as the day is long, I think. And
you'll get a chance to prove it.
Yeah, and I told Lloyd when I got here, I have no predispositions. The glass is half full. We're going to have to get to know each other's baseball. I think we will.
Good strike out there by Nuno. Keep Jerry Dipoto here. Once we get into the next half inning, Mariners lead at 2-1. We'll be right back with the new GM of the Mariners. Back here at Safeco Field, a 2-1 Mariner lead over the Houston Astros. Jerry DiPoto, the new GM of the Mariners, in the booth with us right now as Mark Trumbo leads off. You look at a guy like Trumbo, how do you see him fitting in with this ball club?
You know, of all the players here at the Mariners, I get a chance to see everybody 19 times a year for the last handful of years. Mark Trumbo, I'm a little more familiar with.
Sure.
Had him for my first 2 years with the Angels, and I think a lot of the human being, a lot of the clubhouse presence, and somewhere between Mark and Logan Morrison and Nelson Cruz and Seth Smith have to come your corner outfields and DH position and first base. And you know, it remains to be seen. You can probably include Jesus Montero in that mix. It remains to be seen how we're going to delineate the playing time, so to speak. But obviously Mark has had trouble trying to find one consistent defensive position, but he's never been able to play one consistent defensive position. So love the person. We're going to see how he fits moving forward.
Gary, I know that a lot of people try to put you in a box, and analytics comes up a lot. But also, I mean, your background, you were a player, played in the big leagues. You were part of scouting, player development. How do you manage all of that to come up with the answers that you're looking for?
No, I've said it many times through the day today. It has come up. Somehow I'm the Bill James of my generation. I don't know quite how that happened, but
that's why I asked.
I do believe in using statistical information, the metrics to help lead you to better decision making. And while my title is general manager of the baseball team, I believe that truly what I am is an information manager. And I tell that to all our people in scouting, front office, player development. That's what we're here to do. Manage information and make good, sound, and balanced decisions.
How much do you use of the old school element? You know, a touchy-feely, seeing it and then melding it with the analytics. I mean, where are you in that regard?
I think if we'll use two transactions as an example. If we have two transactions, my guess would be I'm going to be 49% on one of them and 51% on the other, which is to say we try to balance everything out in what we do. It's you take a look at the present value of the player, the current trends and what he's doing, the future projections and what you believe he will do. And, you know, as a wise baseball man once said to me, you have to look at what you see and then couple it with what you know. What I see is Mike Blauer sitting next to me. What I know is what the back of the baseball card tells me. And I'm going to use the two and try to connect them. And a lot of smart people have gone a long way toward developing metrics that really do lead to better decision making. And you know, I'm going to try to be as well balanced as I can. Sometimes I'm going to let my heartstrings tug me with a player. And I do believe that you win championships in the clubhouse before you ever get to the dugout. We will get there.
One of the things that Kevin Mander talked about a month ago when he was talking about this job, and at the time we obviously didn't know who that was going to be, but he talked about what a big job it is. And obviously you have this club here trying to get this turned around. How much you rely on other people in the organization, because you start talking about A-ball kids and trying to get your eyes on them, you probably will in spring training, but outside of that, here you are. And so there's a lot that goes into this job.
No, there really is. And I think each step that I've worked in baseball, a little bit more responsibility, looking at things through a different lens. But most of all, what I've come to understand is you have to be able to delegate. You have to surround yourself with smart people that you trust. You have to be inclusive. And at the end of the day, it requires a village to run a championship baseball organization. And that's what we'll do. We will pick the best and the brightest. We will surround ourselves with the right people. We have the resources here. We have a wonderful city and a wonderful region of the country that by itself is a magnet. People want to come here. And I think that's true of both baseball personnel on field and off. So we'll use the ballpark, the city, the culture, the fan base, and all the resources here to help draw what we need to win a championship, both on the field and off. We will do it.
Jerry, from your time with the Angels, you got to see not only this big club, but the entire organization of Mariners. What can you tell the folks about the health of the system, you know, as you look back down towards the lower levels? What's coming, and you know, what do you think? What's your evaluation of that group?
The lowest levels are exciting right now. You know, particularly what Tim Kisner and Tom Allison have been able to do in international scouting. They've done a great job at cultivating talent there. The mid-levels of the minor league system toward the upper levels are not in great shape. There's a void. There's not a tremendous amount of talent on the way. So the next 1 to 2 years is not going to be an overflow of young talent. And to me, in defense of Tom McNamara and the people in amateur scouting, who I think have done a good job in general, have been put behind the 8 ball by what appears now, what you see. It's guys like Jones and Zunino and Miller and Walker and Paxton as a group like that, they're all 22 to 26 years old, descend on the big leagues, it's going to leave a gap or a void as somewhere in your system. And right now we are living through that void, and we're going to have to be creative in how we fill it.
And being creative, you're not going to be afraid to make some trades, right?
Absolutely not. I think my history will tell you that.
Get the car and start shuffling,
moving,
right?
baby. Yeah,
that's good for you. All right, that's good. That's good to know. 1-2 here to James Jones. 1 out. Jerry, appreciate you stopping by. Hey, congratulations. Look forward to working with you.
Always. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And on top of everything else, good luck to finding a place to stay. You have to do that, too. I know you have a family in town.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Jerry, thanks. Runner goes, throw down to second, and safely, and Loma holds on to the bag. Had some problems the other day, stolen base for the big fella, his 8th.
We'll take a look at the slide by Logan. His last couple times that he slid into second base, been a little bit late on his slide, and he goes in to second base about as hard as anybody. But you have to hope that he doesn't get hurt doing that.
I hear you. 2-1 Mariner lead, 1 out, runner at second. Jones in his 6th start this season. It's pitched down low, count runs full. Jonesy in limited action, 3 for 25. John Hicks on deck. Seen Marte come through with his first big league home run. We're waiting for Mr. Jones to get on board here. A couple down at Tacoma.
I think right now he'll take a base hit right back up the middle, drive in a run.
If he gets a gapper, let him run.
Yeah, right center field is open. Long at bat. This will be the 10th pitch of the at bat coming up to James Jones. Really get the sense that Jerry DiPoto is excited about what's in front of him. Yeah, a lot of energy from him.
The other thing, it's a great opportunity. He resigns one job, and a couple of months later, he's got another gig in the same division. You know, at this level, it's good stuff for him. Chopper up the middle. Correa charging. Quick release gets Jones to third. Goes Morrison. 2 away for John Hicks. Make sure you bring the family out to the ballpark and save. Score 4 tickets, hot dogs, and Pepsis for one low price. As Safeco Insurance invites you to do more. The Grand Slam Family Package, final event of the season, tomorrow night, 7:10, right here at Safeco Field. Pick up your tickets at Mariners.com. Here's John Hicks. 2 for 29 in his limited action. And that's a strike. Well-placed heater there by Mike Fiers, 0-2. Mariners 2 runs coming in the first inning. Sac flies by Cruz and Cano. After Marte led off an infield hit, and Seager doubled him to third. Inning over. Hicks out on 3 pitches. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left. 2-1 Mariners. One more with the Astros tomorrow. A's come to town, and then it's playoff time next week. And hope everybody enjoys that. Well, we're just backing up the guest here tonight. Wave them in. We got the bone. What's going on, pal?
A little easy for you guys tonight, right?
Good to see you guys.
Good to see y'all. How did everything go with Jerry? He looks. I'm excited about that. Guy's full of energy.
Good presence.
Yeah.
Really good presence and direct answers to all the questions. And seemed like he was brutally honest in a couple of avenues.
Isn't that part of it, though?
Hello.
You got to be honest about what's going on, accept the challenge. I think he's a perfect guy for it. And obviously, based on the way he's been go gadget all day long, is still full of energy and still has a smile on his face. I think he's happy to be here and willing to embrace the challenge. It's going to be tough, but I think he's willing. He even said it. He said, "Hey, I need all the eyes and help I can get, and we're going to get this thing turned around." And I'll tell you, I like what he was saying.
Well, he took advantage of National Coffee Day. He amped up. Actually, I don't think he needed to amp up too much.
Well, that adrenaline was going pretty good.
Yeah.
And Jay, I think really, when you think about it, and the Mariners making the decision to let Jack Zaremski go, and when they did, and something that Kevin Mather talked about, it really gives Jerry Dipoto an opportunity to watch this club finish up this year, but really get a running start into all the work that he has ahead of him.
I think I got a feeling that he knew that he was the right man for this job. I think he knew that he had confidence in himself and through the interview process. I think he was definitely eyeing this job, and I think that's why he was so prepared when he came in here. Because you're right. I mean, obviously it helps being in the West. But at the same time, too, something tells me that he knew he was qualified. And what a great opportunity for him, too.
And I was saying to Mike, to get a second opportunity that quickly.
I agree. Because let's face it, I mean, what happened over there, I mean, a couple of egos going at each other. Who knows? But that was then. This is now.
Right.
And what a great opportunity for him. And I know he's super excited, and I'm super excited to have him here because he's a young guy. But the big thing to me is he's a guy that had a career in baseball, knows the game, knows what it's all about, and knows the battle, knows the mindset, knows that it's between the ears as much as it is out on the field. And I think he brings a little bit of everything with the Saber Matrix and all the other things and common sense of baseball. So I think it'll be a good combination.
I like the fact, too, when we asked him about, hey, you're going to be active in trades? He said, oh, yeah. Yeah, he didn't hesitate at all.
Well, I think he has to be. I mean, because, center field, obviously there's a void in center field. There's a void with Zunino as a backup or a catcher behind the plate. I mean, those are a couple of big holes that need to be addressed. I think he will waste no time doing that.
Well, one of the things that he talked to us about, Jay, when you weren't here, is immediately asked him first thing, and he said pitching depth, because you can't just have your 5 guys coming out of spring training. You need a bunch of guys behind that and the bullpen. So I think that's what he's going to focus on right away. And to be honest with you, last year that was a real strength for this club, and it's the reason why they were playing meaningful baseball up to the last day. And this year it's been a struggle in between injuries and guys underperforming and all of it. So I was excited to hear that, because I think that's where it has to start, is at the pitch.
Well, going into spring training, we had an abundance of arms, didn't we? And then we started going, where's Ramirez going to go? And next thing you know, he goes over to Tampa, and look what he's doing. And came back to kind of bite us in the foot, no doubt. And then you got Paxton that's hurt, and there's some questions. You got to, what happened this year, you need to address that, and Kuma and all that. So I agree with you, Mike. You got to make sure that you're prepared. And also, it's nice to have some depth in your minor leagues. Some of these kids, when they get the opportunity to grab the bull by the horns, they can come up here and take advantage of that opportunity, like Marte has done.
Well, he's been really good. It's fun to see him get his 2 home runs the last few days. And then he's been really consistent in the field. Terrific athlete. Probably the best one the Mariners have right now.
Well, I think he idolizes Robbie, and there's nobody better to shadow and mentor. So learn a lot from him. I think they talk to each other quite a bit.
3 consecutive strikeouts by Nuno. Mariners Fan Appreciation Fireworks Night. It's this Friday, 7:10 start time here against the A's. There are going to be prize giveaways all night long, like Holland America Cruises, a trip to spring training, and authentic autographed player jerseys, plus a spectacular post-game fireworks show thanks to Seattle City Light. Go to mariners.com/fan for tickets. George Springer, strike 1, 2 outs, nobody on. Mike, you were 1 for 2 against Jerry, I'm told.
I was told the same thing. I didn't think I'd bring that up.
I meant to, but there were more pressing issues. 2 for 2
right
tonight.
about that.
2 for 2 for Springer.
He's going to be a good player.
Good call, Jay.
Get out on the limb, huh?
I tell you what, they're exciting young ball club, and I hear they're going to be even younger next year. I mean, they got some kids in the cooker that are coming up, and it's the old school, the old Astros aren't going to be your laughingstock Astros anymore. It's good to see, having grown up in Houston. Some good teams years ago, so it'd be nice to see them back.
All those years where they're getting their heads handed to them, they've clearly made some good draft choices. You look at Altuve, Springer, and Correa, you can almost write that in cement for the next 10 years.
Some good young arms, too. Yeah, it used to be the team guys went to pad their stats. And that's not happening much anymore.
Popped up. Cano easing back. Makes the play. No runs a hit. Now there's a man left. Home third coming up. It'll be the top of the order when we come back. The Astros, as we get to the home third, be the top of the order. Marte, Seager, and Cruz against Mike Fiers. Astros scored on an RBI fielder's choice by Correa in the first inning, in the home first. Sacrifice flies by Cruz and Cano for the 2-1 lead.
I like it. We answer right back, right? Put the pressure on these guys. There's no doubt they're feeling the pressure, too, because it's coming down to the last 5-6 games. And it's going to be quite interesting. 3 teams in the West. 2 are going to go. Who's going to stay home? And then you got let's not count out the Twins. They're right there, too, nipping at the heels. So, I mean, there's nothing better for baseball right now than to see this and play meaningful baseball for those guys. Because the Angels, they got the last 4 games against the Rangers, and that is going to be a buckle-up Chuck. You talk about meaningful games. Oh, I mean, woo.
Do you have a favorite?
I'm sticking with my boy Jeff Bannister. He's just a good dude and one of my boys, and I think it's been a great story for baseball as well as the Astros. I think Paul Molitor's done a heck of a job over in Minnesota keeping them around. But
he's been struggling lately, but I think Derek Holland is a big key to what they're going to do.
And he's finally starting to get the feel. So, and AB getting hot.
Hamels has been really good. They won his last 8 starts.
Yeah, that was a big move right there. There's something to be said when you bring in a veteran guy in meaningful baseball games, and they tend to step up.
And he's been there.
And he's got a track record, absolutely.
What a one to see.
And I think the personality of that ball club fits him. I think it's been a nice marriage for the both of them.
Well, Tigers were able to get after him today. Rangers are still leading that ball game. They're in the 8th inning, 7-6.
Yeah, but didn't the Rangers answer right back?
Yeah, they did.
I mean, that shows me what, you know, a little bit of the personality of the team when they can turn right around and come right back at you.
Well, things are a little bit complicated for Minnesota and Cleveland. They got rained out, so they got double dip duty coming up. St. Louis, Pittsburgh rained out. Toronto, Baltimore got rained out.
Stay hot with that.
I guess the good news is it's that time of the year where they all have 15 relievers out there, so they're all right.
Good point. Well, one of your favorite things this time of year, Mike.
Well, you guys are going to find that out tomorrow with the Mariners, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you know
and it bullpen, you know, started by bullpen, basically.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
So, you hope,
I think that can be difficult. I think that can be difficult on hitters, though. A different guy every inning. I mean, you can just about do that.
Slot, different arm angle, different release point on the mound where he is on the slab, on the rubber. I mean, I agree.
I think if they come in and throw strikes, might work. Why not?
Do you run with the hot hand, go 2, maybe 3, stretch him out a little bit if he's doing good, or
why not?
Sunday's the last day of the season. What the hey?
We got tons of ice.
Yeah, right.
Bring in extra ice and some extra aspirin.
Seager with a double into the right field corner, his first time up.
Plus, you get a chance to be a spoiler, too. I mean, there is something to be said about this time of year, even if you're not in it. Break somebody's heart.
Sounds like you have a story there. Give me one that you remember where you guys played a role.
When I got traded over from the Yankees, and we came in, and we were that team that everybody padded their stats against, and it was ugly through the first, you know, through the early 90s, and then Lou came in and obviously changed the whole dynamic and the culture, and we proceeded to get even with some of those teams that used to beat up on us, and that's where you learn paybacks are fun. Because when you get them, you keep stepping on their neck.
Left field for Gonzalez. 2 away. Let's check out our Geico this date in MLB history. Take it back to 1920. Mr. Ruth, George Herman, Babe Ruth. Major League record 54th home run on the last day of the season. Only one other team in baseball had more than 54. That was the Phillies with 64. Also, coming up tomorrow, anniversary of Roberto Clemente's 3,000th hit in 1972 and George Brett's 3,000th hit in 1992.
So, interesting thing I just heard from Aaron next door is in the era of George or Babe Ruth, sack flies, they didn't count sack flies. So think of all that against his batting average, against RBIs.
As it was, he had a career 342 batting average.
Swinging a 40-ounce bat.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just if you haven't done it in a while, just relax. Just go back and look at his page. It's ridiculous.
I think a lot of his sack flies ended up in the seats anyway.
Yeah, but just, I mean,
Congress
numbers are
way outside. All the 2 strikes.
First time around, lots of fastballs for Nelly. Now getting a little wrinkle.
Well, Fiers has been throwing his slider a lot in the month of September. It's been a good pitch for him.
Congress set up practically behind the lefty batter's box.
He must think that Nelly's doing his homework and saw that. And he's going to be sitting the slider the whole AB. Huh? The cat and mouse game.
2-2.
Ooh,
strike 3 called.
Call me jelly, because that just jelly legged my legs.
That's strikeout number 4. All right. He's got his bandana on, true to the blue, and that'll show off. Nice. He won Mariners. As they go into the home first, they get a sacrifice fly by Cruz. Marte scores easily. And then Robinson Cano, first pitch, gets the job done with the fly ball to left. And that'll score Kyle Seager. The Mariners, a quick rally, and now have the lead at 2-1. But now Nuno have to start the fourth inning. And he's got Evan Gattis leading off for the Astros. Evan takes ball one. Gattis fouled out to first baseman Logan Morrison in his first at bat. Gattis a career 0 for 4 against Nuno. Left field, Seth Smith on the case. Got a good one in the National League. The Dodgers with the win can clinch the West. And it's 2-0 Dodgers. Bumgarner against Kershaw in the.
Ooh, that's a matchup.
Yeah, that's a heck of a matchup. Battle for the best record in the American League. Kansas City, game and a half behind Toronto. Toronto rained out tonight. Winners got home field advantage.
Kansas City's got some trouble in the bullpen.
Yes, indeed. The winner's going to host the wild card winner. Loser.
Home field advantage, that's big.
And Greg Holland is already out, but he's going to undergo Tommy John surgery.
How about that? They keep saying, well, he's lost velocity, blah, blah, blah. He's a gamer, veteran. Doesn't want to come out, doesn't want to tell anybody, and then finally his arm falls off, and he's like, okay, guys, cat's out of the bag.
We just showed up in Kansas City, and the report I was told was that his last outing he was 88 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And, I mean, instantly I was thinking, well, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Marte charges the ground ball by Lowry, throws him out
because he was completely unhittable.
Right.
Oh, that was crazy.
Electric.
Right.
You know, looking at the standings and home field advantage, I know it's important, but if you look at Toronto, they are 53-28 at home.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, and the Cardinals, I mean, there's another team that.
And they've slipped a little bit, but they're 55-26.
Yeah, so good home cooking.
Do you play the guys all the way through so that you get that, Jay? How do you feel about that?
I think a lot of those guys will want a little bit of a break and maybe mix a guy in DH and it's kind of a day off. I think definitely you got to give them a day off somewhere along the way. But I was a guy, I'll be honest with you, I was a guy that I didn't want too many days off because I want to stay in stride and I want to continue to be sharp as best I can. And so, you start getting that mind. I want to keep that killer mindset, the killer instinct. I don't want to take too much time off personally.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys feel that way.
I mean, because you just, when you're in a groove or you're not in a groove and you need to get into a groove to get yourself ready for the playoffs. Because let's face it, when you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. Some team gets hot, and next thing you know, they steamroll right through. And so.
Like the Royals did last year.
Absolutely.
Chris Carter takes a call, third strike. Nunez got 4 Ks and a 2-1 lead. 4th, get their hands on the latest and greatest Mariner Moose poster. Free to all youngsters at Kids Appreciation Day, presented by Ivers and Kid Valley this Sunday at 12:10. There's going to be prizes, surprises, mascots, and more, all happening that afternoon. So get your tickets right now at mariners.com.
One of our biggest fans right there. She just forever.
A couple of Basset Hounds.
Used to seeing her right out in the first row right field, but obviously tonight
she had to give up her seat.
Dogs in the AstroTurf, man.
Cano, Smith, and Trumbo here in the 4th. Mariners trying to end a 6-game losing streak. Astros are on a 3-game uptick. Last 3 ball games to get their record in September to 10 and 15. One to Robbie. Looking to extend his hitting streak. 12 ball games right now, sitting on 19 home runs.
Jay, are you going to show up in spring training again?
Love to. I'd love to. I really would. You know that. I get just as much of a thrill, seeing the guys and rapping about old times, but at the same time, it's going around the minor leagues and hanging out with the pups down there and seeing who's going to be the next superstar and come up here to help us out the big league level. So, I mean, for me, it's fun. I love putting on the uniform, going down, sitting on the bench, watching these kids, watching their approaches. I mean, it's in our blood, man. I mean, I love the game, and I always look forward to a week away from the weather here in Seattle, so it's a nice little break to get down there. And but I've done it every year for about a week or so, but I wouldn't mind adding another week or 2 on. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna play it out.
2-2 to Robbie. Popped up, long run for Lowry. He's there in plenty of time. And there's one away. Don't forget, stick around after the game for Mariners postgame, presented by Delta Airlines. Brad Adams, Dave Valley, Angie Mentink, Jen Mueller. A little pug there. Pooch.
Michael Jordan.
Good call.
I wonder if they call him.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to come down spring training and sit in the booth with you guys and try to figure out who number 106 is and 98.
We'll be
it's
there.
like, good grief, how do you guys do it?
Well, you get there early enough because the regulars, as you know, are done after the 3rd inning, and then you get a chance. But you know what? I think I'll say this: it's so much fun to watch some of those kids, especially the kids that are coming in from A-ball and AA, because they are thrilled to be there. Even though most of us know we're not going to see them this year, it's fun to watch them go up there and get some hits and run around the field.
Plus, they get a little $50 handshake or whatever it is, and they can crush McDonald's on that. and the boy,
In-N-Out burger right next door.
In-N-Out is the bomb, and Chick-fil-A. But they and don't think it's their boys are like, hey, you're going up today. You're buying the night. All right, we're gonna get a good. We're all gonna eat good tonight. So I agree with you. It's fun to see those kids, and they play with their hair on fire, and they leave it all out on the field. I mean, we've all done it. I caddied for Dave Winfield for a lot of years in spring training, and I was tickled to death and happy as can be to do it.
When you're talking to the kids, do you spend more? Obviously, you can help the outfielders, and you can talk about hitting and all those things. How much of that time do you spend talking to them just about being a professional and going about your business?
Being good. That is it. That is it. There's a time and place to go have fun and corrals and do all that stuff. You got one career. Make the most of it. I mean, it's all right to basically go have a good time and all that, but still show up on time, do your work, be accountable, body language, be proud of what's on the front and the back, and representing both.
Good call on the body language.
I mean, it's what really and truly, it's a swagger. This game is such a cat and mouse in between the ears, and sometimes you can buffalo somebody just by the way you carry yourself. So
well, and a lot of those kids are really young. Some of them are leaving home for the first time. They're 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, that they don't know anything.
No, they've never washed their own clothes. They don't know how to pay a bill. I mean, there's a lot of things, and they're growing up very quickly. And then they're getting in this big fraternity of guys, and there's all these temptations. So and it's I mean, it happens a lot, but it's trying to talk to some of that and plant a seed in their ear about some of that stuff. And I think that's another thing that Alvin Davis is so great down there with those young kids. I mean, he is such a great mentor and role model for those kids. And I think, you know, the more of us, the more presence of guys that have played at the big league level, the high level, or down there rubbing elbows with those kids, I mean, how can it not be beneficial for them?
How are they? Are they willing to just walk up and start talking to you, or
some? But those are the kids, you know, really and truly, the kids that, you know. I mean, I love that. It tells you a lot about the kid and his personality and his confidence. Is the kid that comes up and says, "Hey, you know, I wanted to talk to you about something. You got a minute?" Sure. You know, there's always going to be those kids, because there was, you know, I mean, there's been times I go and talk to, you know, all the A-ball, AA, and AAA hitters in the cage, and we'll just have like a little hitters meeting and stuff. And you always have that one kid that's a little hesitant to raise his hand because he's afraid he's going to ask a stupid question. But there's no such thing as a stupid question. I mean, how do you know it's a stupid question? How do you not know that everybody else in there might be thinking the same thing?
No doubt about it.
You know, so be the president of your fan club. That's what I just try to tell them.
Zapper off the plate, tag applied, fires, and Seth Smith is out.
Wow. Pitcher being an athlete.
That's good play. Good play. Here's Angie Mentic. What do you have, Angie?
Guys, I have got our third Twitter question of the night using hashtag RootQ3. Tell us, who is going to lead off for the Mariners in the bottom of the 8th inning in tonight's game? This is for a chance to win a Kyle Seager autographed baseball. Reminder, folks, that winners are chosen at random. Back to you, Dave.
Angie, thank you very much. How about this one? Here's an update, fellas. Let's see. Texas 7-6, top 9. Tollison on for Texas. Detroit has runners at the corners with 1 out.
Ooh. That's getting a little tight.
Jay Davis is at the plate.
Speed at the plate. That puts pressure.
Without knowing matchups or anything, who's your favorite going into the playoffs right now? Either league.
I was going to say Cardinals. I was going to say Cardinals for a while, but now they're banged up too.
Yep.
And I agree with Michael 100%. They are on an absolute mission there, and they are thumping from top to bottom. And they've done a heck of a job building up their bullpen and bringing in veteran guys like Mark Lowe and Hawk, and I mean guys that most people are like, is there anything left in the tank? I mean, heck yes, there is. I love it.
Troy Hawkins has really been valuable. Ditto Mark Lowe. 1-2-3 inning in the 4th. 2-1 Mariners. Postseason looming. Let's take a look at the National League. The St. Louis Cardinals, 4-game lead for best record. They play the wild card winner, and it would be one of their division mates. They're 11-8 against the Cubs, 9-8 against Pittsburgh. Looking at a doubleheader tomorrow because of the rain out tonight. Then the Mets lead the Dodgers by a 1.5 games to host in the other matchup. And the Dodgers are trying to win tonight to clinch the West. They're playing the Giants and lead 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And now we got a final. Texas defeats Detroit 7-6. I hear you.
Just tighten it a little bit more.
There's Marwin Gonzalez. Kinsler drove a ball deep to left field, but it was run down, and that was the ball game. Drew Stubbs made a heck of a catch.
Well, how about the Cubbies? I mean, you know, oh boy.
Man, this one's hit well, and Smitty's going to watch it leave. Oh man, on the stairwell. Home run, Marwin Gonzalez, his 12th, his 34th RBI, ties the game at 2-2.
I'll tell you what, these guys hunt the fastball, and they don't get cheated on it either.
Mike and I talk about this guy all the time. He and VR, good guys bringing off the bench.
This is, I'd love to have that guy right there.
Now he gets a fastball top of the strike zone, and he knew it. For Gonzalez, his 12th home run of the year.
I'm told Drew Stubbs made a heck of a catch. Actually, the ball was hit to right field. And almost did a Mike Trout-like action going up around the fence. His momentum took him up near the fence. Meanwhile, Trout and company lead 6-0, bottom 4 against the A's.
Thought it was interesting, and Jay, you were talking about it earlier, wanted to be a spoiler. You know, Kinsler wanted to get a hit big time right there against his former club.
Yes, absolutely. It probably hurts even more. It's bad enough you get robbed, and then against a team that gave you up.
Tough year for Detroit. Their 84th loss. And Conger the other way. That's a fair ball into the corner. And it disappears. Grounds rules, goes up into the stands.
Game of inches. Nice piece of hitting right there. Elevated. That always helps. Fan makes a nice play.
One guy's umpiring, and he makes a catch. Home run and a double. Go ahead run at second, Hank Conger. Nobody out. Jake Marisnick, the hitter, he struck out his first time.
And for Nuno, 65 pitches again. He's going on 3 days rest. Guys are starting to move around in the bullpen.
Jake better do his job right here. He's got one job to do, and that's to hit it to the right side.
Joe Beimel loosening up.
I don't think these guys don't know what just happened with that Texas score. We always talk about scoreboard watching. Come on, you know it. Absolutely.
I always watched.
Why not?
Exactly.
It is what it is, man. Come on.
0-2 to Marisnick. Shin-Soo Choo had a 2-run homer and a 5-run first for Texas.
They need him to stay hot.
Marisnick strikes out, one away. That's strikeout number 5. So take a look at the updated standings. Delta Airlines keep climbing standings. Texas by 2 now. Angels, as we mentioned, leading 6-0 over Oakland. Bottom of the 4th in Anaheim.
So how nice is it going to be to have us right up at the top when we're talking about this time of year next year?
Works for me.
It's about time, right? I mean, Pittsburgh's done it.
0-1's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And right now.
That's a long time.
Right?
I mean, 14 years. I don't like that stat. I don't like being the only team.
That's where we are right now with Toronto having clinched the playoff spot, their first since '93.
Well, let's stick a fork in that. How's that?
I think everybody's on board with you. Altuve, first inning single to center, run scored, a strikeout in the 3rd.
He don't take a lot of pitches, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He swings at anything and everything. That strikeout last night was over his head, almost off the brim of his helmet.
I've also seen him hit doubles on that same pitch.
I know, it's like Vlad. I mean, from the ground to the top of his helmet.
You know what? I was thinking about this last night watching him, and you may disagree, but just his overall style of hitting and how aggressive he is, and he's a good bad ball hitter. And yeah, at times he'll swing at something that's really bad, like he did last night. But he reminds me a lot of Kirby Puckett because he can hit some pretty good pitches and hit them hard.
Kirby could crush elevated fastballs. He loved that ball out.
Yeah, he did.
Arte.
But for a little guy, he can generate some bat speed.
2 outs.
No doubt about it.
14 home runs.
Exciting player, man.
Whether they have a full season or 20-game plan, when you're a Mariners season ticket holder, you'll be on hand to witness history here at Safeco Field. Felix Kuma and the Mariners, they want you to join the club, so contact an account executive today, 206-346-4001, or visit mariners.com/16 for more info. George Springer, 2 for 2.
Looks hitterish, doesn't he?
Very much so.
Some guys, they just step in the box. They just got that hitterish look. Whatever it may be. Balance. I don't know.
Like you were saying, to the gap. 3-2. Houston leads. Springer, fast runner. He'll shut it down with an RBI double.
Boy, Jonesy, nice job. Get it in quick. Nicely done.
3 for 3 night for Springer. His 17th double, 39th run batted in.
Again, leaning on that fastball out over the plate. Gets an extension. Catching too much of the plate right there. Middle. But you can see, you elevate that ball and you can get the power V extension right there.
So the Astros on top again, 3-2. 2 outs, and here's Carlos Correa, 0 for 2 so far with an RBI and a fielder's choice in the first inning.
Pretty impressive to see these two young kids back to back, isn't it? They're going to be good.
Keyword both of you guys mentioned earlier: athletic. Jerry DiPoto mentioned it
and an
when
attitude,
he was here.
And an attitude. You can see it. You can see it in their swagger, the way they carry themselves. They carry themselves like they know they belong here. And they play the game right. They run balls out, which is good to see. Don't want to see a Papelbon Harper incident.
No, but maybe one of the better signs that they had is the guy on deck.
Yeah, that guy.
Because
Paul Bunyan.
And he'll let you know. If you're having an issue on the field, I'm sure that he will take care of it.
He will give you a tissue, no doubt about it. Yeah, and he looks like the type that would. But probably in a little bit better manner than the Papelbon.
You don't want to get him in that mode.
Somebody could have got. I mean, just if you're going to do it, throw some dukes. Let's go. I want to see something. And they both get suspended a game. Is that right? What happened to him?
Papelbon had 4 games to go along with the 3 games that he had for hitting Machado. So he was done for the year, and then they just sat Harper down for the day. They said it was a scheduled day off.
Humma.
Because they got to be even on both sides. Do the set your MVP. Okay.
2-2.
I love it, man. I mean, but that is one of the bad things anymore. It used to be, you get up on the top step, let a kid know, hey, let's go run your butt down first base. It's part of the game. It's the way you play the game. Play the game right, respect the game. But there's also a way that you can say it, and I think we all know that Papelbon has a little bit of a track record, and it probably didn't go real well.
No filter, huh?
Yeah, might be the reason why he's bounced from team to team too. I love the way they covered it up and said he's a great clubhouse guy. Ooh, there's your buzzsaw.
Cano throws at Correa. Rangers come back with 2 runs here in the 5th and have a 3-2 lead. by Money Tree. Proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Jack in the Box. If the Mariners win, mention Mariners for a free Jumbo Jack with purchase tomorrow at Jack in the Box. Jonathan Villar takes over at third base. Jed Lowry as Romo pops one up. Left field. Marlon Gonzalez went out.
J.C. Ramirez getting loose in the Mariners pen, so Nuno probably done.
Bringing up James Jones.
Not too bad on 3 days rest.
No.
Jonesy grounded out to short. In at third is VR, well in on the grass.
That's one of the things, Jay, that every team, you have to have a couple of those guys. And for Nuno, he's out in the bullpen. You need him to come in and get a lefty. You need 2 innings. You need to be a long guy. How about a spot start? Yep. 3 days rest. He comes right back for you.
Spot start for a month.
I mean, it's, you know, it's such a difficult job. It is. And somebody has to do it. And I give those guys a lot of credit because I think a lot of times their numbers are going to suffer because of it.
They're giving it up for the team.
Yeah.
They're totally team guys. I agree.
Yeah. You have to give him credit for that.
I agree. And I thought he's done a great job.
It is really appreciated. There's no doubt. 1-2 strikes.
I think it's safe to say that bullpen has gotten its work in this year.
Mike Fiers dealing 1 and 2. Struck him out. Conger goes down to first. Okay, 2-3, 2 outs. Strikeout number 5 for Fiers. Improve your on-bus percentage. Riding is easy. Just ask our rider's guide, available at soundtransit.org. John Hicks.
You think he knows who Jimi Hendrix is?
I'm going to say no.
I don't think he picked his song right there.
That's a Seattle song, at least.
He's an icon, no doubt.
Mariners has gone hitless the last 2 2/3 innings. Last hit was a 1-out single in the second by Logan Morrison. Mariners got their 2 runs in the first inning. Sacrifice flies by Cruz and Cano. 12-6 over the top.
It's always tough. You got that guy like an Iron Mike over the top with a fastball, and then he drops that little slurve on you, and then he comes with a changeup out of there. Those guys.
And he has a cutter and a split.
And they tend to keep the ball down right at the knees, so you have a tendency to give up on it a little bit too soon, especially now with the strike zone the way it is. On the fastball, they seem to be calling that fastball just below the knee.
Yeah.
And it's hard enough to just drop the barrel on that, and then you start getting that call a little bit.
Well, that was something that Dave was talking about at the start. The Fiers reminds him a lot of Doug Fister, and that's where Doug lives, right there at the bottom of the strike zone.
And so then everybody goes, well, how can he survive with 88 to 90? There you go, right there.
He has done a heck of a job. That's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 in a row. He's retired. It's a 3-2 Astro lead. Market applied here at the ballpark. That's a good-looking dog. It's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Good boy. How about Vidal Nuno? He's stepping up for the Mariners.
5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. Didn't walk anybody. That was a big key for him. 5 strikeouts, 83 pitches. 58 of those for strikes. And I think working off of 3 days rest, I think he'll take that.
Absolutely.
Kept his club in the ball game. J.C. Ramirez going to take over. Just 5 appearances for him. A 1.69 ERA. 5 1/3. Couple of strikeouts. Opponents hitting 200. Good fastball. He'll be in the mid-90s with his fastball. Mixing a slider with it.
He's going to get Evan Gattis, Jonathan Villar, and Chris Carter 4, 5, and 6 here in the Astros 6th inning. Gattis a pop up and a fly to left.
Pretty unorthodox stance, huh? No batting gloves.
A little separation between the hands, too.
Not much of a stride and just straight torque. That's a strong foundation right there.
Well, he was made for the American League, right? DH?
Yeah, I think it's a great pickup for them. Especially in that bandbox form. Hello. A couple pop-ups. Thank you.
I'd like to hear what you have to think about this, Jay, in as far as the schedule goes. You go through the entire season and everybody has the interleague play and they go through the whole process, and then here's this club trying to get in, and they're going to have to leave Seattle and go to Arizona. So now somebody that's important to them like Gattis is not going to be able to play when everybody else is playing either in their division or against at least American League.
Look out.
That's a quality toss right there. But that's scheduling. At the end of the day, you look at that and you're like, do they have any say-so? Were they able to think ahead and say, hey, what happens if it comes down to that? I mean, that's the bad thing on the scheduling. It's like, is there somebody, and I don't know, I'm asking a question. Is there somebody with your organization that's in charge of helping with scheduling? At the end of the day, how do they come to the final set schedule?
Yeah.
Do you have a say-so where you say, if you're a Yankees, trust me, I think the Yankees are getting the benefit of the doubt a little bit more than the Marlins, Seattle Mariners. What do you think?
There's a lot of lobbying that goes on.
But I agree, Michael. I mean, now you're taking your big cog out of your lineup, or you're forcing him to play a position. Now he's played the outfield, and he's played some left field, and he's done an adequate job. But he's a bat that you cannot keep on the bench. He's got to play. So he's another guy that that's the bad thing about playing in the big leagues. You don't want to be that guy that's the one-dimensional guy that can't help your ball club because you can't play a defensive position. You got to continue to keep working, and that's why I take my hat off to Rusty Coots making me into an outfielder that was.
Ramirez comes in, walks his first batter.
I think that everybody's going to play the same amount of games in interleague play and all of that, and whether you like interleague play or you don't, to me, that's not the point. The point is let's get those games out of the way so when you get into September.
Solid. That's a good call.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that's the fairest way to do it.
I agree.
But the way it's structured now,
interleague, there's going to be interleague games every day somewhere, somehow,
right. Exactly.
And they need to figure that out.
Deal with it, man. I guess at the end of the day, that's all you can do.
Well,
that's
they're going to have to.
But again, too, it shouldn't. Well, you can say, well, then it shouldn't have come down to that series. We were talking about it earlier. Be in control of your own destiny and have a lead. And
yeah,
that's the great thing about this game. I love it. 3 teams in the West battling it out.
Jonathan Villar, the hitter. 51st game for him, switch hitter. Houston and Arizona, those would be the only interleague games this weekend. And don't forget, all the Sunday games start at 3:15 Eastern time. Will be 12:15 here, 12:10 here. So they want those fabulous, fantastic, frantic finishes on Sunday, the last day of the season.
Plus, you go into those ballparks, and if you're playing a team too, you don't have any idea, but you go in and the team's out of it, and there's no fans. I'm sorry. I love going into a ballpark where you can feel the energy and the fans are on you, and it just gets you going. And you go in another ballpark and you hear guys stepping on peanut shells and it's crickets. I mean, it's kind of hard to kind of get fired up, But again, dome ballpark, they close the roof. Ball can fly, home run hitting team.
I can make a case that when the schedule makers put it together and they came down to these two teams in the last day, they didn't expect either one of them being in contention. And here it is, the Astros are right there. There's a line drive right at Jonesy, and it's over his head off the bat of VR. Gaddis, second, heading to third, getting the wave on from Gary Pettis. And a relay drop. Gaddis scores standing up. RBI double VR, 4-2 Astros. Jonathan VR off the bench. And for VR's 10th run batted in on his 6th double.
Gaddis carrying the mail, huh? They handed him the oxygen mask just about right there.
Yeah, you could say that, but he also has 10 triples this year.
I know. I know.
10 triples.
He's carrying the mail right there, and that's the difference. He's coming into third knowing he's going to soar. He's making the third base coach hold you up. I like that. And I like the fact that they're staying aggressive. Stay aggressive, man. I love it.
Mark waits out for a couple of words to J.C. Ramirez, whose appearance is marked by a walk and an RBI double, 4-2 Astros.
I like it. Gary Pettis down there at third base put the pressure on him. He could carry the mail a little bit these days, couldn't he? Wow, good player. What a player.
He can go get it in center field, too.
Heck yeah. Him and Devon White, man. They would run stuff down and always make me shake my head.
Preston Tucker's on deck. He's going to pick up Marwin Gonzalez. One. Foul play. Angels 6-1 lead over Oakland, bottom of the 5th. Dodgers lead at the Giants 2-0. Top the 6th.
So Angels, they get in. They got the big boy that's dealing with that plantar fasciitis. Oof.
2 balls, 2 strikes here to Carter.
Pujols.
What did you think of Trout's catch the other day? It's Montero, 3 runs.
I mean, it's one of those catches that you, during early BP or regular BP, as an outfielder, you're always trying, and all the pitchers especially, when they're out there what they call power shagging, are always trying to time it just right and go up. And the problem is, what people don't understand is these walls, a lot of times they put this cleaner on it or like Armor All on there. So if you're out there power shagging in tennis shoes or turf shoes and you go to put your foot in there and you slip, somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
But for Trout to be able to do that, know his steps, know where he is on the wall, be able to time it perfectly, it's one of those dream catches as an outfielder you always wish that you could do. And every year there is always one that just is spectacular. And I think it's safe to say on probably 2 hands there's been, probably that many catches that were like that spectacular. He makes it look so easy, though.
He does, and
he's 15 feet in the air when he comes down. He lands like a deer and just like it's nothing. It's like, come on, really?
There's Preston Tucker.
It's interesting you say that because the next day at the ballpark I ran into Tim Salmon. You remember Tim?
Oh,
very good right fielder for the Angels for a long time. And Tim was saying basically the same thing. He goes, as outfielders, we're practicing all the time. He goes, but it's pretty rare that we actually make the catch.
Yeah.
And he said, to get the line and the timing and everything just perfect,
because you always run to a spot where you think it's going to be, and inevitably, I mean, the wind could pick it up, the seams on the ball could cause it to tail a little bit at the end. Everything's got to be just perfect, unless you got a go-go gadget arm and you can stretch out 10 feet and make the adjustment. So that's what's, I mean, and he just made it look so easy. It's like he knew exactly where to be.
Yeah.
And just turned his back. I mean, he's turning his back and running to a point.
Well, he nailed that. Mike and I, we were sitting there going, it was a perfect route. There was no wavering at all.
But that's just how sick of an athlete he is. I mean, he's a specimen. That's another one of those kids that's very special. There's a reason why that they took him when they took him, and they did not miss on that kid. He is special. Well, built like a linebacker, can run, hit, throw. Run. You know, he's a 5-tool. He is a 5-tool guy.
Without question. Conger, round rule double.
But he made it. But he makes it look so easy. That's the thing. At the end of the day, you're like, and then the more you think about it, you're like, wow, that was pretty special.
It reminded me a lot. You said making it look easy. It reminded me a lot of Junior. I mean, Junior made a ton of catches, and you don't realize how tough they are because he makes it look so easy.
Exactly.
Trumbo in foul territory.
But you're talking about guys that play at a complete different level and almost play at a different game.
RBI double by Lowry coming up for the Mariners. Marte, Seager, and Cruz. Mariners trail 4-2. Here at Safeco Fielders, an old timer, old tug. What are you doing to me? They keep up with the pennant races in true HD quality on MLB.TV Premium, #1 live streaming sports service. Hey, college students, enjoy a back-to-school offer. 35% off discount, authentication required. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV today. Top of the order for the Mariners, down 4-2 as we play here in the home sixth. Strike one to Ketel Marte. Infield single in the first. Scored on a sac fly by Cruz. Tried to bunt his way on in the third. Fires throw him out. Coaching staff wants Marte. They will try a bunt at least once a week. They'll go up the ante next season.
Hey, how about that swing he put on the fastball last night to hit his home run?
Oh, he just dropped the barrel, and it jumped.
But even the location of that pitch is in off the plate. That was one of the things I was talking about. That it was a really good pitch, and not that he was able to barrel it up, but to keep it fair. And he hit it about 12, 13 rows deep.
Now he's starting to get a little bit. He thinks he's a power hitter now. Let's hope that doesn't get into the mindset. But no, it's good to see. I mean, he's got a good swing. I like it. He's done a great job out on defense. Makes all the easy plays, the plays you're supposed to make. And I'll tell you what, he's done a great job leading off and being basically a spark plug that they needed. Just carried the mail.
Way to go, Chris Woodward. Hooking up that little guy.
But showing a little late pop in the season. I think he's probably getting a little more comfortable too, getting to know the ballpark, because a lot of those things come into play, getting to know the umpires, the strike zones, all the different things. It's a little bit different game up here at the big leagues than it is down in the minor leagues.
When did you feel comfortable that you knew all the umpires?
Well, we were fortunate we played in complete, there was National League umpires, American League umpires, and let's face it, they were completely different. And then there were veteran guys that basically you knew that were basically pitcher umpires, and then there were other guys that were hitter umpires. And that was a big learning curve. You had to know that. And then there were the umpires that were great communicators that would say, hey, boys, it's getaway day, or I got a small zone, swing the bats. It's going to be a quick game. But they would tell you. And so a lot of those things came into play. Then there were the umpires that you could talk to or you couldn't talk to, that had a chip on their shoulder. There's the umpires that, we used to say kept a book, so don't make them mad.
Mike talked about that one.
So, I mean, all these things, and it takes a while for you to understand that. And then I tried to make a point, and I know most veteran guys did as they were up the ladder, is make a point to say hi to every one of them, especially if I'm going out to center field. Junior and I always run the second base touch and break off, and they'd always meet right behind second base.
Right.
I always make a point to look them in the eye, say hi to them, shake their hand, call them by name.
Right.
Because it's everything you can do to get a little love and some brownie points. So,
exactly.
And I think they appreciate that. Yeah. So and it's helpful for me, because over the years, the more times you do that, you get to know the guys a little bit better, and it all comes into play. So it's big, to answer your question,
right? Because
there's so many different things.
Yeah, and sometimes if he'll let you, it gives you a benefit of the doubt, maybe blow off some steam.
Exactly.
He'll give you a little bit more.
He'll let you have a beef, and then you'll get to a certain point, and he'll say, okay, that's enough. But they'll at least let you know. So, whereas other guys, I hate to say it, some of these younger kids coming up, they're quick to throw the hook.
Wow.
Well, let's not forget, this game, they're here to see the players. They're not here to see the umpires.
So what was it? Steve Palermo told us, he said they've been teaching the younger guys to be more like that. Not
to take anything, none of that ended right now.
Yeah. I like it back when you guys were playing.
And the thing about it too is, if you think about it, these guys do such a good job.
Yeah.
They do an excellent job. They're the best around. And they're going to call on a given night 250, 270 pitches. They're going to miss a few.
Yeah,
and the thing that I always appreciated is you could, as you're raking the box out, you could just say under your breath a little bit, I think you missed that one. And sometimes they go, yep, you're right, Mike, I missed it.
Yeah. Or you go, where was that? And they go right down the middle, and you're like, oh, okay. But I do agree. I do think, though, that they need to understand this game is such a rush, and it means so much to these guys, especially this time of year. The last thing you want to do is take a guy that's a meaningful part to your ball club, and if he's got a little bit of the beef, I'll immediately be quick to hook him. We got to give him a little bit, and I agree, Mike, and then say, okay, that's it, enough. I've heard enough. I'll let you say your beef. Let's go. So, because, the juices get going really quick on one pitch, because one pitch can totally change your at-bat. Now you go from being in a 2-0 count to now back into a pitcher's count, and, or you're 2-0 and they give him that 2-0 pitch, or 3-0 especially. They give him the automatic strike, to make it 3-1. Then he paints on you because, hello, it's the big leagues. The best of the best are here. So he paints to go 3-2, and then he jelly legs you with some nasty thing out of nowhere, and you're like walking back going, what just happened? I went from being ahead in count 3-0. He got a courtesy call. Then he paints, and I'm done. And I was totally in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And that is one of the hardest things at this level, to be able to tip your hat and check it and not let that affect you, or especially now go out to the outfield for me or wherever your defensive position is and carry that out there. Right. That's the hardest thing, checking the ego from play to play, at bat to at bat, day to day.
Joe Thatcher getting loose in the pen for
it's
the
tough.
Astros. Because I wonder though too, to be fair on it, is for the umpires today, how much pressure they feel because of the tracing.
I agree. And is it going back, and is it are they being graded on that? and how many calls they actually end up getting right, and does that go as a knock against them?
And yes, they are being great.
Yeah, so I know. I mean, but what's that mean? I mean, does anybody know what that? I mean, I really have they ever stepped in and say, okay, we're going to give you a leave of absence for a week? And
I've not seen it, but I'm sure it happens. I mean, I'm not aware of it, but I gotta believe it's
probably a pretty good tool for them to use for the young umpires. We've seen Dave and I have seen a bunch of umpires this year that have been called up for a series or whatever from AAA. Yeah, so they get a day or two off.
But Mike, I agree with you 100%. This is hard, and they do get most of the time these bang plays right. So, and most of them are really good dudes. You get them away from the ballpark, they'll have a cool pop. They're good peeps.
Nelly in some bad straights. He struck out twice tonight to go with a sac fly. Struck out 4 times last night. 2 out, 1 on for Cano.
Yeah, but for him, all it's going to take is one little take, one swing of the bat, especially late in the game, some thunder, and you make the other team walk off the field. And 1 minute the GOAT, 1 minute the hero, baby. It's a beautiful game.
We saw the left-hander Joe Thatcher getting loose. Chad Quall, veteran righty, getting loose with him now.
Cano drives one to the gap. He hit it well, and it is gone. A 2-run homer for Robinson Cano to tie it up at 4-4. Inning streak in 12 games in for Robbie. Home run number 20, RBI 74 and 75.
And the boy behind you comes up and says, don't worry about it, I'll take care of you, man. I'll pick you up right here. And he buggy whips one out of here.
Beautifully done. Time for Big Fish Casino. Big catch. And he catches a pitch right where he can handle it and ride it out of here.
Right in the middle of the plate, probably just below the hitting area. But he drops the barrel on it, and a nice catch by the fan. And a couple nights in a row, I think that the fans have made a few catches out in the stands.
Yep.
How about that? You just strike out Cruz, everything's going great. You make a pretty good pitcher's pitch down, and you get hurt. The next thing you know, oh boy, what just happened? You can't let down. The second you let down just a little bit.
Yeah, he had to breathe a little sigh of relief. I agree with you. Seth Smith, the hitter, 0-for-2, a strikeout, and a bounce back to Fires. Joe Thatcher and Chad Qualls continue to heat up. Line drive off the bat of Robinson Cano's 20th home run of the season.
Oh, smoked. Robbie heating up, isn't he?
Terrific second half.
Yeah, he's done a lot of damage in the second half. As you see Carson Smith getting loose for the Mariners.
You talk Carson Smith, that's a kid that's got a bright future down there, doesn't he? He's got some electric stuff.
Learned a lot this year, too.
Yeah. Hope he goes home and unplugs for a couple weeks and rests up and gives that arm a little bit of a breather, and then get in that weight room, get that core strong, lower half strong, come back and have even a better year.
There's Carson. Three and 1 to Seth Smith, 2 outs. Shift on for Smitty.
Do it again right here. No.
Fires with his first walk of the night.
That might be it. Stick a fork in him.
And here comes A.J. Hinch. He agrees. Now A.J. Hinch coming out to get his starter. Who got it to 2 outs and 1 on, and then gives up a first pitch 2-run homer to Robinson Cano. Ties the game at 4-4. More time for our Lexus pitching matchup. The starters, Mike Fiers and Vidal Nuno.
Fiers, as Jay was saying, was cruising right along. Thought he was going to get out of the inning, maybe with the lead. He knew he was getting to the end of it, but the Mariners end up getting 2 more runs to tie the ball game up.
Oopsies.
Chad Qualls, veteran right-hander, 58 appearances on the year, ERA just over 4, 45 strikeouts, only 9 walks in 49 innings. Opponents hitting .236. He's given up 5 home runs this year.
Crafty vet.
Yep.
Been around.
One of the things that Houston wanted to do over the course of the winter is get some veteran guys out in their bullpen. And it's paid off for them.
That's smart.
Balls, Gregerson,
Nishak.
Yeah. Good job.
Get in the ear of some of those young kids. Make sure they're ready, watching the game. Keeping them loose, too.
Trumbo 0 for 2, looking to extend his hitting streak to 4 ball games.
I want to hear you say Trumbo Jumbo right here.
You're not alone.
And that was the pitch right there.
One pitch. The other way. Very nice.
I love that right there. Take what they give you. A huge hole over there. You can drive a truck through. They're going to pitch you there, hit it there.
3 consecutive hits by the Mariners. 2-run homer. Check that 2-run homer, walk, and a base hit. So 3 consecutive base runners.
Always helps when it's elevated too. Get a little extension. Hit hard. I like it. Starting, looks like he's using the whole field a little bit more.
And now we're going to have a pitching
Martinez.
change. It'll be Joe Thatcher.
Chad Qualls out of Austin, Texas, faces 1 batter, gives up a base hit. And Joe Thatcher will take over. He's in good shape here with 2 outs and a man on, and he lines his 20th home run over the fence in right center field to tie this ball game at 4-4. Robbie extended his hit. He sure didn't. Robbie extends his hitting streak to 12 ball games, runs his RBI total to 75.
I like it. Strike out Nelly and then turn right around, waste no time, dead red, let it go.
If Joe Thatcher takes over on the mound for the Houston Astros, and Lloyd McClendon counters with a right-hand hitter to go against a veteran lefty, Franklin Gutierrez.
Has he got another one in him, you think?
Goody? Hey, let's see it.
It's been, I'll tell you what,
a lot of fun.
It's been unbelievable. We always cheer for a guy that basically strikes lightning in a bottle. I mean, the guy was out of baseball, all the health issues everybody knows. Talk about some big hits for this club down the stretch.
I do not want to go out like this.
And I mean, thunder.
Yeah.
Not these little wall scraper things.
Hit some bombs right field.
I agree.
Yanked a couple.
That's what's impressive. He's using the whole field.
Yeah. First pitch from Paul's ball 1. From Thatcher, beg your pardon. Goody's 1 for 3 against him. Two runs in on the Cano home run. 2 men aboard, 2 outs. Would not lay off it. 1-1.
So he's setting him up for him to throw that again. He's going to square it up.
When you look at his numbers this year, Jay, and the home runs that he's hit, a lot of them to center field and to right field, which is something we didn't see before.
With authority.
With authority.
Oh, look at here.
Deep to left, into the corner, and the catch made by Preston Tucker. Didn't quite get enough of it, but a good inning nonetheless for the Mariners as they get 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, leave 2. We got a tied ball game as we head to the 7th. Trying to get to the playoffs. Coming up later on tonight here on Root Sports, Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. And then after that, Mariners All Access from earlier today, the Jerry DiPoto introductory news conference. Mariners to the pen, and they bring in Carson Smith.
68 appearances. His ERA at a 2.41. Really pitched well for the Mariners. 90 strikeouts and 67 in a third. Really good number for Carson Smith. Opponents hit an even 200.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
For really your first full year. He's pretty special. I like that kid over with the Angels too. It's Gotts.
Ooh, Trevor Gotts.
Both of them have, I mean, just pretty electric stuff.
Like, is he going to be? So should probably go with him to close, right?
He has to be because
Smitty's out.
He's out. His groin is blown up.
When we were there, though, he had Mike Morin come in and save that game, and he's been a hot pitcher for him. Now he doesn't have the fastball, but he has the changeup and that breaking ball, and he's really pitching well for him.
Premium change, premium curveball. That's a nice.
And they'll throw him at any time.
Yeah, it's about keeping guys off balance and guessing. I agree. Go with the hot hand. Why not?
Gutierrez stays in the game in left field. Seth Smith moves to right. Trumbo goes from right to first. And Carson Smith on the line.
Sosha's pretty good at rolling the dice, too. I mean, he's a veteran manager.
He said he was going to mix and match.
He's pretty good at feeling out his personalities.
1-1 to Jake Marisnik. Leading off, he'll be followed by Jose Altuve and George Springer. One pitch. Chopped down to Seager. Mariners thank Seattle Children's for their season-long support to create family-friendly destinations inside the ballpark. Whether it's Seattle Children's Playfield or the Moose Den, our youngest fans enjoy a great experience here at Safeco Field. Angels 7-1 over the Athletics now in the top of the 7th. And the Dodgers lead at the Giants 4-0. Top of the 8th. Dodgers with the win clinch the West in the National League. Here's Altuve, 1 for 3. Kansas City a loser earlier today, 42. Big sweeping breaking ball, 1-1.
His slider with that arm angle to a right-handed hitter is just brutal.
It's not fair.
No.
Especially when he starts it right at your hip and it's hard to stay in there on it.
Just like that one, and it still finishes off the plate away.
That was like Jeff Nelson. Whenever we faced him with the Yankees, you knew you were going to slider. You knew you were going to get it. But still, even knowing that, it was so hard to stay on it.
Jed Lowry, who started at third for Houston, had to leave the game. When he didn't leave the game, it was because of soreness in his left quad. 1-2 to Altuve. All two. Playoff pressure going to mount tomorrow. Some double headers coming up. St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Toronto, Baltimore, Minnesota, Cleveland.
Wouldn't Lowry, by him getting hurt early on, the reason why Correa is basically at shortstop? How about that? Taking advantage of the opportunity.
Easy hop for Seager. 2 outs. Strikeouts, second most by a rookie reliever in club history. Enrique Romo holds the mark with 92 strikeouts.
That was back in 1977. So it's been a while.
First year at the club.
I was going to say, I never even heard of him.
77.
George Springer.
Get fouled.
Springer had a fabulous night. 2 singles and an RBI double. Astros scored to open up the ball game in the first inning of Correa. Fielder's choice RBI. Mariners come back with sac flies from Cruz and Cano, 2-1. 5th inning. RBI double by Springer and a home run by Gonzalez. 3-2 Houston. They make it 4-2 in the 6th. VR with an RBI double. Then Cano ties it in the home stretch with a 2-run homer. And a quick dismissal of George Springer with just that nasty slider. A 1-2-3 Carson Smith 7th. stretching your mind as you consider how a Washington's lottery win would change your bucket list. Play today. Been a fun night here at the ballpark on a beautiful night in this great city, Seattle, Washington. 4-4 ball game. Earlier we had new general manager Jerry Dipoto visit with us. Jay Buhner is with us. I'm Dave Sims with Mike Flowers, and AJ Hinch going to make another pitching change. He had Thatcher warm up. Warmed him up. Now he came to get him. What a wry smile. We'll take another step aside here at Safeco Field. Get back with more Mariner baseball right after this. Today in the news conference, team president Kevin Mather described how he executed the search project to land Jerry Dipoto.
It was educational. It was hard work. Came up with a list of 40 candidates. Knocked it down through references, conversations with all the people I know in baseball, and worked our way down to 10 candidates. I then had to call and get permission to, and some assistant general managers got nice promotions and raises and title changes. One candidate had a family issue and said, "Thank you very much. I wish it was 5 years from now," and I accepted that, obviously. But I had 6 candidates. I went out and met with all 6, spent 3 to 4 hours with each one of the candidates, had great interviews, great experiences. I invited 3 back: Howard Lincoln, chairman, John Ellis, chairman emeritus. 2 of our owners were involved, and at the end of the day, it was a unanimous decision. I made a recommendation to Howard. Everybody agreed with it, and Howard said, by all means, go ahead, and Jerry is it. So we're excited to have him here, and we're a better baseball team today because of it. So,
well, there you go. That's how the process went to get Jerry Dipoto here to Seattle.
I like how you said some assistants got a nice little pay raise. No, we're not going to let you interview, but we'll give you a pay raise. It's kind of nice.
There was one team Kevin talked about would not allow him to interview one of their guys. There's Will Harris taking over, and he's pitching to Sean O'Malley, pinch hitting for James Jones.
And he's pitched well this year.
A few guys, sorry, we got an early Christmas bonus, huh?
There you
go. Nice to be wanted. I consider that.
15,331 on hand here tonight. O'Malley leading off the Mariners' 7th. Pitch hitting for James Jones. 2-2. Struck him out. Conger goes to Chris Carter. Strikeout 2-3, 1 away.
And that'll bring up Brad Miller. He's going to pinch hit for Hicks.
See if he can turn it into Miller time here. Get the Mariners in front.
Miller highlight?
Yeah, why not? That was a big beer back in the day. A real big beer back in the day. Looks to strike one. Or 0 for 1 against Will Harris.
Just kind of stayed right at that 255 mark pretty much. Second half, hadn't it?
He's been swinging really good lately. I think the one thing for Brad that I like is that he's finishing strong, Jay, and it's been difficult having to change positions and do different things, but he's still swinging it, and that's what's going to keep you in the lineup.
Yep, you got to check the ego, man.
10 home runs on the year.
Sometimes there's going to be things that you don't always like, but you got to check the ego. And at the end of the day, we've talked about it before, it's going to do nothing but help his stock, him being able to play all these different positions, and at the big league level. He's got some thunder in that bat too from the left side, so not a bad year.
That's 48 games since 26th of July, hitting at 296. 2 homers, 17 runs batted in. There's 1-2.
The good thing is being able to do all that. I mean, he's a manager. It's a nice luxury for a manager to be able to plug him in, and he can move him around and double switch and do all sorts of special things with him. Like you, Michael, got to bring a bag full of gloves, though.
Whatever it takes to get in the lineup.
I agree.
2-2 pitch. Struck him out.
Wow.
2 away.
He's challenging with the heart of the middle.
Top of the order, Ketel Marte. 1 for 3 today. Will Harris, the 4th Houston pitcher, fires Qualls, Thatcher, and now Will Harris. Dodgers now lead 7-0 at the Giants. And that's going to make the clinching even sweeter than clinching at San Francisco.
How about the job that Kyle's brother Corey Seager has done for the Dodgers?
Outstanding.
Yeah, he is.
I like what you said about young Seager and his manager. Remember we were talking about that before the game?
I was just thinking about it last night, Jay. Corey Seager hit a line drive back up the middle. Ended up scoring a run as he's walking through the dugout. He's getting a high five, and the first guy to give him the high five was Don Mattingly. And I was thinking to myself, Donnie was a pretty good player, about the same age. I wonder if Donnie sees a lot of himself in Corey Seager.
How about where he's hitting in the lineup too? He's been hitting cleanup. It's like he's a pretty special player.
Yeah.
Hadn't had a chance to see him play a whole lot.
I've just seen the highlights and a little bit in spring training.
Right, but apparently he's quite the electric player.
Playoff roster?
How can you not? How can you not? Where I mean, the things he's doing, seems like his name's always popping up in the box scores, highlights.
He's got a good-looking swing.
Big kid too.
Like 6'4", right?
Yeah.
Built
Yeah,
like a Correa kid.
Playing shortstop, huh? I think that's where they're going to keep him.
Yeah, I
Who
think
knows?
so. I think
He
so.
does a good
For
job.
now, why not?
Yeah. Ooh. Thank you.
2-2. Mariners trying to end a 6-game losing streak and stop Houston in its tracks. Astros have won their last 3 ball games.
Wow. Okay.
Full count. Kyle Seager's on deck. Had a good night. 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. Three and 2 to Marte. 2 out, nobody on. And he takes ball 4.
Good AB. I like it.
All those balls, all pretty much the same area, so his eyes stayed right there.
Down, all of them down.
So it helps you as a hitter a little bit. Good AB.
Had a good time for Kyle Seager to set a new career high. Tied him from last year with 25 home runs. Good time for it.
First pitch to Kyle.
Oh, that was the one right there. Smidge long right there. Tried to tack it and barrel drug a little bit through the zone.
We've seen Harris a lot this year, and he's had a good year, a 1.85 ERA, but at 91 miles an hour, his fastball, it has to have some life to it because it seems that there's a lot of late swings on his heater.
Well, he probably hides it. You know, kind of wraps it behind his head and hides it real good, and then it's hard to pick up the last second.
Conger, nice stop there. So you look at the Astros uniforms with the MH patch. That's in memoriam of Milo Hamilton, their longtime Hall of Fame broadcaster, passed away a couple of weeks ago. Milo had a great career. Houston and Atlanta, Chicago with the Cubs, among other stops. Big Tom Wilhelmsen getting ready to come in and pitch the 8th inning. 2-1 ball game, a 2-1 count in a 4-4 ball game.
A little closer to that one, Jay. The fastball almost in the same spot as the first fastball, but the barrel was to it. Fouled it straight back.
Outs and a 2-2 count. And he struck him out. Conger held on. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. 7 complete here at Safeco Field. 4-4 Houston and Seattle.
Presented by Delta Airlines. I hope to be chatting up the hero who wins the game for the Seattle Mariners. Also, we'll hear from the skipper, Lloyd McClendon, after this one. Head inside the clubhouse for more reaction. We'll have some of our exclusive interview with the new Mariners GM, Jerry Dipoto, from our pregame show. And coming up after tonight's postgame show, we will have the press conference from today. That's after our postgame show. As far as tomorrow here on Root Sports, make sure you join us at 6 p.m. We've got a day in the life of Jerry Dipoto. Jen Mueller, guys, was following him around since the moment he arrived at Safeco Field today, and we will have that exclusive look for you at 6, and then the pregame show at 6:30, followed by the game. Back upstairs.
All right, Angie, thank you. Here's Carlos Correa, 0-1. Trumbo feeds to Carson Smith. Just one away.
Quick hook right here.
Jesus Sucre is the new catcher for the Mariners. And Sean O'Malley in center field. And Lloyd going out to make a pitching change. Carson Smith, a 4-batter outing, retired everybody. Nice work. 4-4 game. Turn to the bullpen one more time, and this time they bring in Big Tom Wilhelmsen.
50 appearances for Tom, a 3.24 ERA, 55 strikeouts, 27 walks, and 58 in the third. Opponent's hitting .253. He's given up 3 home runs this year. Tom has had a good fastball, 95 to 97 miles an hour, 12-6 curveball, changeup to the left-handers.
His changeup's been pretty good.
It has been good.
He started working on that in spring training to get it down, and got a good pitch for him.
Important hitter here, Evan Gattis. Home run leader for the Astros with 27.
He just looks like an old school player, doesn't he?
Very much so.
Can't find a helmet to fit him.
He's seriously strong.
Oh, man. I don't think I'd want to mess with him.
Not a lot of volunteers in the category.
That's a big old boy. Kind of got a little bit of a Jeff Bagwell to him. Squatting down like that.
Yep.
Well, that's got to be some wear and tear on the wheels. Got some strong legs to do that.
Yeah, wide base like Bagwell, right?
Mm-hmm. Not much of a stride.
Right.
Mike, he's another guy can hit from the shoe tops to his helmet and square it up.
That was the changeup he had out last night. Hit it right off the ground.
1-2 pitch. Shot foul. Evan Gattis, first player since Jerry Lumpy back in '62 to get 10 triples in a season without stealing a base. He's the only player in club history. Reached 10 triples, 26 homers, and 86 runs batted in a single season. Struck him out. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Well, don't let him delay steal on you now.
Bring up Jonathan Villar for the second time. He entered the game. Jed Lowry had to leave with a quad problem. Villar with an RBI double in the 6th.
I think he was looking to hook and spin right there, Mike. Looking so. Dead red in, kind of feeling Sucre maybe sitting up inside and got baited.
Well, the second strike, second pitch to Tom Jerome was 97 on the inside corner, and I think he was thinking he was going to go back to it at some point.
That'll make you cheat a little bit on it.
Striking the outside corner, 1-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Count evens at 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Switch hitter, batting 280, left-handed, 274, right-handed. Comes from full. Tom trying to put him away. Only the second walk by Mariner pitching tonight. Two out, and the go-ahead run at first, and a tough hitter in the fact that Chris Carter is an all-or-nothing guy. Strikeout or home run, you got to be careful.
He was the difference in last night's game. Score tied at 2-2 and hit the home run, his 23rd.
He's 2 for 9 against Tom. We've seen plenty of Chris over the years. He's got 15 career homers and 34 runs batted in against Mariner pitching. Back safely is VR. Trent Jody's
I like it, seeing him make sure if he was out.
Sure, yeah, get that out. That'd be nice.
Especially with this guy up there on swing. I agree.
1-0 pitch.
Yep. Catcher's interference.
Second one last, what's that, 4 days, Mike?
Yeah.
He's lucky he didn't get his wrist or hand broke right there. I mean, that was all catcher's mitt.
Oof. Out. Two men aboard. Had a catcher's interference against C.J. Cron Saturday. The Angels 3-2 win. And Sucre was in the ball game. He started that ball game. That was in the first inning. So a walk and catcher's interference with 2 outs here in the 8th. Second time up for Preston Tucker, who took over for Marwin Gonzalez in left field. Strike one. Tucker 0 for 2 against Wilhelmsen. Popped it up.
Thank you.
Trumbo calling everybody off, makes the play. That'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left in the Astros 8th. Coming up for the Mariners, Nelson Cruz, Robinson Cano, and Seth Smith. Chance to jump in front of Houston when we come back. Sports Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines, and then after that, get a chance to see Jerry Dipoto in action. His news conference from this morning.
Busy day for him, but he's going to sleep like a baby tonight.
Probably already is. Nelson Cruz bounces one.
Throw it away.
VR retires Cruz, 1 out. Tough couple of nights here for Nelly. He's 0 for his last 13 with 6 strikeouts. And now they're going to go to a left-hander to face Cano. And we'll step aside. 4-4 ball game, 8th inning. Back with more in a moment. in a 4-4 ball game. As you look at Robinson Cano, and man, did he step up big in the 6th inning. First pitch.
Stepped on a fastball is what he did. He lined it out to right center field. His 20th home run on the year.
And when you say stepped on, it was right off the shoe tops.
Exactly.
I mean, he just dropped the head and that got out in a hurry. That's getting squishy right there.
Oliver Perez is the pitcher he'll face right now, and he's 5 for 16 career against Perez.
What's he going to do? Like a complete 360 delivery?
He almost did one last night.
Eventually he will.
When he gets the 2 strikes, he'll probably go there.
He's been around forever.
Pittsburgh.
It's good to be a lefty.
Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh, Mets, Pirates, I believe, Mariners. There it is.
And after all these years, still has pretty good fastball, 93 miles an hour. Throw strikes, mix in a slider, Jay. Stick around in this league.
There's no reason why he won't pitch again next year.
19 appearances, 14 strikeouts, and 10 1/3. Only hitting .289. He's given up a couple of home runs.
What a career for Perez. 13th year in the bigs. San Diego, Pittsburgh, the Mets, the Mariners, Arizona, and Houston.
He was a starter with the Mets, right?
Yeah, he started 34 games with the Mets as recently as 2008. And started a game since the 2010 season.
He had a big year one of those years. Was it
15 and 10 in 07 and 10 and 7 in 08. Shift on for Cano. 3 defenders on the right side. Two and two.
I think it's not about deception. He's got all of this body language going on. He's trying to flip his glove. He's trying to shimmy, shake, changing where he is on the rubber, changing his arm angle, Kentakovian around, spinning around.
2-2. Marisnik take care of this. Two outs. Kevin Bodie outside left field entrance. Safeco Field on this pleasant night. 15,331 on hand. Nice look at another side of the ballpark. Seth Smith, the hitter. Smith 2 for 6 against Perez. He's ahead 0-2. Keep the shift on for Seth. A little hesitation. Did he go? Go down to third? No.
Funny game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Always been taught to go up there and look dead red. Best way to hit the off-speed pitch is don't miss the fastball, and you go take 2 right down the middle. But that's all that body language. That's all that herky-jerky motion. And the way he pitched Cano a little bit, too.
Showed him his numbers.
Staying alive, though. Now just hit a knuckler right over the third baseman's head and laugh all the way down first.
Seth Smith trying to keep this 8th inning alive for the Mariners against 34-year-old Oliver Perez. Two, 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Astros. They've left 6 men on base, 4 runs, 6 hits, an error by the Mariners. They've stranded 4. That might be enough, and it is. Off the end of the bat, one-handed. 2-out base hit.
That is an attitude adjuster right there. Thank you very much.
Slider right off the end of the bat. Yeah. Pretty good pitch, too, on the outside corner at the knees. Pretty good hitting.
I love it. You're just looking completely embarrassed up there, and you throw out a knock.
Well done. George Springer could not get to it. So the go-ahead run is at first base with 2 outs. And Pat Neshek will be the next pitcher for the Astros. There, you just never know. In a 4-4 ball game here at Safeco Field. Meanwhile, the Dodgers about to clinch. They lead by a game. They did clinch a final 8-0 as Kershaw throws a beauty at the Giants. They clinch at San Francisco. The Cardinals 4-game lead for best record. Played a wild card winner, and it would be the Cubs or Pittsburgh, 2 members of their division. And the Mets and the Dodgers, they're going to hook up. Pat Neshek against Mark Trumbo.
Zone up, I think it's safe to say. A little submarine.
Trumbo do. He's 0 for 7 against Pat.
I like it.
A lot of appearances, 64 of them, 3.54 ERA. Giving up 8 home runs.
Man, what a cut that was. 1-1. To Trumbo, base hit to the gap. A lot of English on that one. Smitty will get the third and get there safely. 2 2-out singles by the Mariners. Go ahead run at third.
Look who's coming to the plate.
And Mark Trumbo now 2 for 4 in the ball game. 3 sliders in a row. Was able to stay on this one right off the end of the bat.
Ooh, that was, wasn't it? Right off the cut part of the bat.
Back-to-back hits that way.
Trumbo, 4-game hitting streak.
Here comes Mr. Clutch. Let's go.
Goody 1 for 6. Trumbo was due. Comes through. 1 for 8 now against Neshek. Goody's 1 for 6 against Neshek. Oh, man.
Think these games matter?
Yeah.
Nobody throwing in the bullpen.
Angels win down in Anaheim. We got a tie for the second wild card position. Delta Airlines keep climbing standings. They got to have this one.
I love it. And of course, the Angels finish up 4 with
Texas, right?
Texas Rangers, baby, in Texas.
Matt Latos finished the game for the Angels. How about that? The Dodgers.
Wasn't he with the Dodgers?
Yeah, he was with the Dodgers about 10 days ago, and they cut him. Yeah.
Traded for him, let him go, huh?
Chance for Goody to put the Mariners ahead here in the bottom of the 8th.
Wow. Like you said, you can never have enough arms, I guess.
One on one, Mr. Franklin.
Mariners have not had a lot of opportunities tonight. 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position.
Let's go Goody cheer going up.
Put away.
2-1.
What a nice hands feet right here. Flank it.
Neshek ready with the 2-1. Takes for a strike. Down evens. 2-2.
It's all right. Paint. Can't do a lot with it. I think I'm going to be diving out there again, though.
Mariners with back-to-back singles with 2 outs here in the 8th in a 4-4 game. 2-2 to Goody. Fouled it off.
Pretty good job of fouling off a good pitch right on the outside corner at the knees.
Right over top of the last one. I'd stay there. Keep moving it out a little bit more. Let's break their back right here.
Angels at 1, and they are currently tied with the Astros. 2-2 to Goody. Up high. 3-2 count.
I like it. Little gap man. Watch Trumbo score right here.
Sean O'Malley's on deck. Three and 2 to Gutierrez. Taking up high.
No.
Ball 4, bases loaded.
Golf clap. Thank you.
Golf clap and a lot of begging.
Aren't we all? Oh my. It's amazing what that scoreboard will show you.
O'Malley 1 for 1 against Neshek. Long time Mariner farmhand. Couple cups of coffee with that ball club. Angels, as Hawk would say, they're on the board with a win. They've tied Houston. Angels starting the day just a half game behind these Astros. Big spot here for O'Malley. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Looks at ball 1. O'Malley 4 for 6. Runners in scoring position with 4 runs knocked in. F. Smith at third. And there's ball 2. Smitty's at third, Trumbo at second, Goody at first, and now O'Malley in charge 2-0.
Get a little tight, isn't it?
O'Malley, the 6th man to the plate here in the 8th.
Oh, I love it. What a game, huh?
2-0. Takes a strike.
Taking all the way.
He paints on you. Come on.
He's taking that pitch all the way.
I don't know, but man.
A chance to play a spoiler role for the Mariners. Chance to end a 6-game losing streak and end Houston's 3-game winning streak. 2-2.
Battled right back, didn't he?
Ishak, the 5th reliever used by A.J. Hinch. Ishak ready. Here comes a 2-2. Line drive, base hit. Smith scores. They're going to send Trumbo. Here's the throw to the plate, not in time. Runners move up, and the ball getting by Conger. Shot O'Malley. A 2-run single, and the Mariners have a 6-4 lead here in the 8th. Big knock with 2 outs.
Boy, he stays hot with men in scoring position, doesn't
5
he?
for 7 now. 5 for 7. Picks up a couple of RBIs right here. Elevated fastball. Stays on it.
That's a huge AB right
That
there.
is a big at bat.
And that just breaks the Astros back right there.
No question.
Oh, my goodness.
They've seen the scoreboard. They know the Angels are in with the win. A single, 2 RBIs, and E8 allows the runners to advance second and third. Sucre, the hitter.
It just got a little colder.
So Goody gets all the way to third. Popped up long run for Springer. He's got room. Makes the catch, but a huge, huge 2-run knock by Sean O'Malley. Mariners with the lead, and what's the reaction? Yeah, baby. If you're tuned in up on the moon, that was a heck of an at bat by Sean O'Malley.
Great at bat. Showed some patience and was able to handle a mistake. Again, 5 for 7 runners in scoring position for O'Malley.
Mr. Buhner, pleasure having you here with
Thanks
us
for
on
having me,
Tuesdays.
man. Thanks for opening up the house and letting me sit in here and have fun with you guys. And
Really enjoyed it.
Always a good time. Looking forward to next year, boys.
And hopefully next year at this time we're talking playoffs and where we're going.
Well, we'll be talking playoffs, that's for sure. hopefully it's about us.
Valbuena's going to pinch hit. Pinch hit for Conger.
Going to keep him in the ballpark. Well, he's having a career year with 23 homers. Only hit .214, but 23 homers and 53 runs batted in. Played a lot of third, played a lot of first this year. .1-0 pitch. John falls behind 2-0. Bueno for 1 against Tom. There's a strike. Valbuena. Colby Rasmus on deck to pinch hit. Then Altuve. Two-1. And 1 to the leadoff man here. Mariners 6-4 lead, top of the 9th. There's Rasmus, he's on deck. 3-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Valbuena thought he had a free pass.
Thank you.
One-time Mariner. Well, Helmson deals 3-2. Leadoff man here in the 9th. He flips it through the hole for a base hit.
That was a nice piece of hitting right there. On a ball.
Pitch off the plate away and down.
Valbuena leadoff single, and how about Colby Rasmus against the Mariners? He's been deadly. He's 2 for 5 with a homer off the Big Tom. Strike 1 to Rasmus. Angels have checked in with a big win within the last 20 minutes. Beat Oakland 8-1. They're currently tied with Houston. The Mariners hold on and win. The Angels will move into the second wild card spot behind the Yankees. 0-1 to Rasmus. In there for a strike.
Looked like he took a little off right there, a little BP fastball. I look up there, it said 96.
Yeah.
You know, with that late movement.
Oh, 2 pitch. There's Felix Hernandez. Probably see him Friday or Saturday, trying to get his 19th win. Would match his career best. Here's the 0-2 to Rasmus. Ball 1. The final game still active on the big league scoreboard today. We've had 3 rainouts. Toronto at Baltimore, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Cleveland. One-two pitch from Tom. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 1 down.
Pretty good curveball from Tom. 12-6, 78 miles an hour, and located on the outside corner right at the knees. Perfect pitch.
It's like it got the home plate, went straight down. And when you throw 96 to pitch before that, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, now you get into the tough part of the lineup. Altuve, Springer waiting on deck, Correa after that.
Good ball hit right at Marte, turn 2. Altuve actually took a pitch. Strike 1. Altuve 1 for 5 against Tom. Oh, there we go. There's one.
Come on.
And no, Altuve was motoring up that line.
Well, it was going to be tough to double Altuve up, and Tom, coming off the mound, ended up stumbling a little bit. Had to take a little extra time to get his feet under him, which was a good play. Make sure you get the sure out right here, right off the end of the bat. Breaks his bat.
Tough hitter. Likes the fastball. George Springer, 2 outs. Top of the 9th. Springer 3 for 4 with an RBI. 2 outs. Altuve, they give him second base. Strike 1. Springer 0 for 5 against Wilhelmsen. There's the 0-1. Got him to chase. Tom in control right now, 0-2.
I think Springer right there just taking a chance, looking dead red.
Yep.
Tried to catch something out in front. Good pitch by Tom, going with the breaking ball off the plate away.
Tom trying to put it in lockdown here. The 0-2 to Springer. Check swing. Pops it foul. Houston had a 4-1 lead entering the bottom of the 6th. The Mariners have battled back.
Is that considered an emergency hack right there?
Very fortunate because that pitch was a strike too, right on the corner.
Big time with the 0-2 to Springer. Pitch. Fouled off again.
Good approach right there. 0-2.
Yeah, 96 mile an hour fastball located like that.
Mariner fans clamoring for the final out here. Safeco Field. 6-4 Mariners. 0-2 to Springer.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
We got a complete flinch right there.
He did.
Right,
he can see it.
Oh, my
right?
God. Oh, he raised up.
Right at the bottom of the strike zone and middle of the plate.
Paul Emmett was about to ring him up.
I mean, just straight flinch. Oh.
1-2.
Muscle spasm. Come on, man.
Big Tom with the 1-2 pitch. Popped it up. Easy play, right field. Seth Smith, Mariners win 6-4 and into 6-game losing streak. And with the win, put the Angels into the second wild card position by a half a game with this Houston loss.
And we talked a lot about the young players gaining experience. How about the at-bat by Sean O'Malley to drive in 2 runs with this kind of game on the line.
Oh,
pretty good stuff.
Baby.